Welcome traders, my name is Adam from Trade with Precision, and a big warm welcome back to all of you. I hope you had a good rest over the holiday period, and here we are. We have lots to do this year so far already. Welcome to Vantage markets inside the chart. So let's kick off first of all by having a look at news that is expected, economic calendar news anticipated this week, mainly and primarily just to be aware of when those times are. Now, of course, it is currently set to my time in the UK, but just be prepared. For example, Tuesday, we've got quite a bit of US news, Wednesday, US news as well, and of course, Thursday, just be prepared for UK news, and Australia kicking off on Monday. So just be prepared that during those periods, there could be an increase in volatility in the markets, and it could disrupt any open positions you have. Right. That being done, let's kick off. Let's have a look at the dollar index. So very, very quick summary, having a look here at the monthly. We have been, since the tariffs came out in April, we have been stuck in a range. And currently, if we go right down to the daily, you can actually see that we had quite a strong dollar over the last few days, over the last couple of weeks. In fact, there is no clear trend within the sort of longer term at this point in time, and shorter term appears to be quite bullish. One of the issues with ranges, of course, is that the trend can change at any point. So just be prepared for that. But currently we are seeing a stronger dollar, which means that if we have a look at euro dollar, we can see this is currently trending lower. It's likely to continue down to at least 1.16 for now. And at some point, I do expect a bit of a pullback. And again, we'll have to see how big that is, because when a market is ranging in this way, it is very tricky, or it is much more difficult to predict its next move. So in other words, we just have to play it as it lies. Having a look here at GBP USD as well, you can see it coming back down to test support here at 1.34. We'll see if this level does ultimately hold, but there is no clear trend at this point in time. So this also means that if you are a day trader trading on, say, the 15-minute time frame, you do need to be conscious of those key levels, and of course that there is no real higher time frame direction. Have a look at Aussie dollar, US dollar at the moment as well. You can see very similar to GBP USD. It's coming down to test support. What I want to see, and I expect it to probably happen this week, is that dollar will continue to strengthen for a few more days before it eventually runs out of steam and does a bit of a pullback. So I do think these levels will be tested and possibly even broken. Kiwi dollar as well. Let's have a look at that. Here you can see a very similar type of change of trend. We've gone from a left shoulder to a head to a right shoulder. We've broken through that neckline, so we're likely to continue down to that 0.56 level. Dollar yen continues its longer term flow to the upside. And actually, out of all the charts we've had a look at so far, the yen, dollar yen, and the yen crosses are my favorites in terms of currencies. They have a prevailing direction to the upside, and we can see a nice move there, and it continues to move higher. So for me, any pullbacks here, especially on the lower timeframes, should provide a decent higher probability buying opportunities. Let's have a look here at dollar CAD. So dollar CAD, you can see a really, really big surge up here. There's no real clear trend. It's a little bit overextended. And as I said, I could see that the move is to the upside, and at some point we will get a bit of a pullback. The question is, will we get that pullback Monday and Tuesday, and the trend continues up Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or will it push up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and pull back Thursday and Friday? But the prevailing direction right now, at least on the daily, is to the upside in favor of that stronger US dollar. Dollar Aussie as well. Now this one is interesting because it is very much within a well-defined range, and it is ultimately working its way up to the top of the range. The most high probability level that it is working its way up to now is 0.8075. So likely to see that continue. Moving away from the majors, let's have a look at the global markets. They are very bullish, ladies and gentlemen. Here you can see a very nice break and a pullback, nice bullish candle on support, pushing up higher. My expectation this week is that these markets will continue to push higher. Looking at the S&P here as well, breaking up through this ascending triangle, very nice type of bullish pattern, also very much to the upside. Let's have a look at it from the weekly, get a sense of whether it's overextended. No, it's not. It's looking very good. So the upside potential is pretty much open. NASDAQ also here starting to break upwards through resistance, also looking very nice and bullish. Very cool. The Russell 2000 also predominantly looking bullish. So for me, any kind of pullbacks on the daily would provide buying opportunities. The direction is very much to the upside, and these markets are not that overextended at this time. Let's have a look at the FTSE. The FTSE's been performing relatively well. We've had a very nice pullback here on the daily and taken off there as well. I would say look at the weekly. Sure, it's away from the moving averages a little bit, as it has gone in the past, but it still looks relatively nice and strong. We have a look at the momentum here on the MACD, also very nice and bullish. So these trends are nice and strong and not that overextended. One I really want to draw your attention to is the German DAX. It's been consolidating for 7 months. If I show you the monthly chart here, it's been going sideways for 7 months. It has just broken out, which means it has a lot of energy. And I think this is definitely one to have a look at. Just looking at some point, yes, of course, there'll be a pullback, but this has got so much upside potential. Unless something does change, these markets have look like they have a good run to the upside. Let's have a look at the Nikkei. The Nikkei is also just broken up here through resistance. Very nice trend here. Moving averages fanning out. And the indicator MACD, the momentum indicator, looking very nice and bullish. This is amazing. So one of the weakest one right now is the Hang Seng. And this one, at some point, I do expect it ultimately to follow suit. It's very choppy and messy at the moment, but it is very likely to break out to the upside as well. Right, moving on and having a look at crude oil. Not a lot happening with crude oil. It's got a longer term and medium term momentum to the downside, and I expect it to maintain that. But it now on the daily has shifted to an uptrend. We've got high lows, high highs. It's certainly testing the upside if you have a look at it from a weekly perspective. Although it is very much testing support here, it isn't looking super weak at this point in time. I'm not really seeing any tradable opportunities here just yet. And as I said, the medium and longer term momentum is to the downside. So we need to see if this is ultimately going to really break up much higher. But it doesn't matter because there isn't anything to trade at this point in time. Let's have a look at gold. Gold looking very nice and bullish. Look at this beautiful, very clean price action, moving average geometry fanning out. Very nice pullback, nice bullish candle and breaking up. So it did dip a little bit here. This little pullback here was a bit of a deeper pullback, just hinting that it's slipping a little bit, but the trend is still intact. And so I'm still at this time cautiously bullish and still looking for buy opportunities there. Silver was, just to show you what this was producing a little bit of a bearish pattern over here. It subsequently broke this high, so that pattern became invalid. It wasn't triggered, and it's now looking very bullish to the upside. This is the beauty of what we do as technical analysts. And we can see here very nice, beautiful kind of pullback into the moving averages, the moving average geometry looking good, the momentum indicator looking good. This is very bullish. So again, I expect almost all of these charts, all the ones that I've spoken about, they should be heading higher. I also think there's a possibility, wrapping up here with Bitcoin and Ethereum, they are currently range bound, but if we have a look at it from a monthly perspective, this is where it gets interesting. If we have a look here, you can see it has pulled back into the moving averages, producing a very small indecision bullish candle. And yes, I do think that the trend is starting to slow, but it still has more upside potential than downside for now. So what I will be doing with Bitcoin and Ethereum especially is just maintaining this range until they either break out the bottom or break out the top. It is effectively still range bound, and there's a very fair possibility that it can break out the top. The question is, will that be this week or not? We will see. But the markets now should be back, ladies and gentlemen. So there's some news to be aware of. Just be aware of any of those high impact events. There should be plenty of tradable opportunities this week, which is fantastic. We had large periods last year where there were just nothing happening. The markets are looking pretty good and optimistic and bullish. There we go. Don't forget, manage your trades and risk management responsibly. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great week.